Alright, y'all. Recently I had some events on a camp out that made me want to have a backup plan. And I went through several different I started to go several different ways with it. This is what I ended up with, and I think that's going to work best for me. I started out with a Maxpedition M5. And as I went, it wasn't big enough to have everything that I wanted in it. I got this from Captain Bart. It's a low alpine bag. And this is just a little bit too big. I don't want to overstuff something. And I think this has got just a little bit too much room for this particular piece of kit that I wanted. And I didn't want to just, that whole syndrome of, oh, I've got the room, I might as well fill it kind of thing. I didn't want to do that. So I finally ended up coming across this little JanSport bag. I had my eye on a Mountainsmith bag similar to this. And I still might switch to that because I think Mountainsmith gear is just top of the line as far as small little packs go and whatnot. But I came across this little JanSport fanny pack, and basically what happened was, I'm not going to tell the whole story because it doesn't need told right now. But basically, I was on a camp out, and for some type of circumstances, I was left with pretty much zero gear. And I didn't want that ever happening again. We did make do and get by that night, and we were okay. But I didn't want to have that type of situation happen again, where I was left virtually homeless out in the woods, or kitless, or whatever. So this is what I came up with. It's just a small little fanny pack, and it can ride in the top of a pack or on a side pouch, like a bottle pocket or something like that. It doesn't weigh much, and if I am left virtually homeless again, God forbid, I've got a backup plan. This is my plan B. So going over it, this is the waist belt. I'm not going to undo that because I don't need to undo it right now. It can stay buckled up. But on here I have a little carabiner, just a little lightweight carabiner, and a little clip light that the professor gave me. It's just a little red light, and it blinks, so you can be seen if you need to be seen. And that just kind of clips on here. I actually might end up putting that in the bag. Now, before I actually get into the contents of the bag, I want to start off by saying there's one thing that I want to add to this, and that is one of the SOL bivvies, the real small ones. I saved enough room just for that, and I think that will complete this kit. I'm starting off in this front pocket here. I've got a bag, a little snack size Ziploc baggie, which contains I don't know, 30 or 40 feet of bank line, a little roll of duct tape, piece of fat wood, a ferro rod, two alcohol wipes and 3 Band-Aids, a whistle, some fire starter, little quick tabs or tinder tabs or whatever you want to call them, a little emergency striker, kind of the butane lighter without the butane kind of thing. This is a little miniature fishing / sewing kit. Put a little something more comprehensive in here, but this has got some really basic monofilament, some very small sinkers, some very small hooks, and a swivel, and then also some safety pins. So that's in here. A button compass, and a flashlight. This is a Phoenix LD15. It's a pretty decent little light. It's not super bright, but it does put out a decent amount of light. So I threw that in here for light. Also in the front pocket, I've got, out of different little survival tins and whatnot, a little magnifying glass, a miniature sewing kit. It's got 2 needles, some safety pins which can eventually be turned into a treble hook if need be, and some cheap line for sewing. And then, just because I had one, I threw in one of these little wire saws. The experience I've had with these are junk, but I had one. I didn't go out and buy it, special or anything like that. I had one around out of a generic survival kit I had, so I figured I might as well throw this in here. And then also, and last but not least in here, I have a compass. This is a Silva Explorer. That's a pretty good compass. I've done a lot of navigating with this. It also has a magnifying lens in it. Inside this top pouch, I've got a lot of things in here. First off, I've got a Swiss Army knife. This is the Trekker, I believe. But it's got about a 4-inch locking blade on it, as well as a pretty good size, I believe it's close to 4-inch wood saw, a couple screwdrivers, flathead and Phillips. You got a corkscrew on the back, tweezers, and a toothpick and an awl. So some pretty good implements. Two snares. These are about 3 feet long. I know 2 snares was nowhere near enough to catch food, but it would help. I'm not going after, and if I would lose everything, I'm not going after big game, you know what I mean? I'm going after squirrels or rabbits or, even rats or chipmunks or anything I could get at that point, if I got that hungry. Now this kit's basically to survive a night, but I wanted a few things in there just in case it was longer than a night. A hank of paracord. I think this is about 25 feet, I think. And here I have a space blanket for my shelter. This, along with the duct tape, I can make a pretty decent little shelter out of it, a little tube tent or whatever. So I've got that in there. Also in here I have this little water bag by, I believe, Hydro Pack, Sub-Zero Hydro Pack. Thought it was made by Platypus, but essentially it's a 17-ounce water bladder with a little lid on it. So I've got that in there. So I've got a way of carrying my water. I've got more duct tape. A tube, which you'll see what that's for here in a minute. An Aquamira Frontier Pro, and I've got this set up to screw. This will screw onto the threads of this here. So if I wanted to, what I could do is hook this tube to the bottom here. Like so. Put this down in the bag. Screw it on. Use the bite valve, and I've got a ready-made drinking thing. I just fill this up in the creek, put my t-shirt over the mouth to filter out the big parts, and this will help keep me on drinking water. Or if it's a fairly clean source, I can use the straw to get out of a puddle or something. So there's 2 ways to, and also I can carry water with this via that little clip I showed you on the beginning, that little carabiner, to this carabiner hole here. In here I have a little more comprehensive fishing kit. I'm not going to go over everything in here, but it's got some It's got several reusable split shots, several hooks. It's got several different lures. Well, it's got a wire leader, several little lures you can add to your hooks, about 50 feet of spider wire. I believe it's the 30-pound test stuff, the real strong, good stuff. I just wanted a little bit more comprehensive fishing kit, just in case kind of thing. Like I said, this is meant for an overnighter, unplanned overnighter, possibly 2 nights, but could be longer. Now I know a lot of people are going to probably say something about this, but I've got a Leatherman Juice KF4, mainly for the pliers, but it does have a few screwdrivers and little tools like that. Also, it has another blade. It has a diamond file, which could be used to sharpen any implements, the fishing hooks or the knives or whatever I need it for. It's also got a little bit coarser file on the back side. I've got a serrated blade if I need to be cutting rope or something like that. It's got a pretty decent awl on it, and another wood saw. And the reason I added this in along with these two things here is because this wood saw is way bigger. It can get a lot more done along with that blade. Not to mention it's got tweezers and whatnot on it, so I thought that'd be a good combo. I thought a good little addition. And then last but not least is the Mora Bushcraft Black. I thought about throwing a little cheaper knife in here than this, but this is a good knife I can depend on. It's sharp, and I can trust this knife. So with these items, I would be more than comfortable spending a night in the woods. Like I said, I'm planning on adding the little bivy bag like that, just for, if I've got a tube tent, well, now I've got something to get inside of, type of thing. But with this contents, I'd be more than comfortable spending an overnighter. I might, if I can fit it, throw some kind of like snack bar, like a Cliff Bar or something in there, just to stave off the hunger until I could get out the next day. But that would be the extent of it. That's why I wanted a pack of this size. It's big enough I can accommodate a full-size knife and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm not going to be cramming like a full-size saw in here. I'm not going to be cramming like something like that. But in the meantime, let me know what you guys think. Comments, questions, suggestions. I'll be glad to hear from you. And until the next one, guys, thanks for watching.